This meeting is being recorded.
How come I can't spotlight me anymore? Spotlight for everyone. Okay. But I'm getting tired of being spotlighted. Okay. Start this. I'm not 100% feeling it, so let's send Kristel some good energies because right now it's like, whew. Oh, I really want to restream because the restream does the other, but when I was on there, it just blurs. Coffee with Kristel. We'll talk. Real solutions. Yeah. So just to give me a thumbs up if you can hear me on Facebook.
Yeah.
I believe we are almost live. Getting there. I'm trusting you can also hear me. Yes, this might be a test one because on here it looks okay. Here we go. There. Trusting you can also hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like it works. I'm going to actually restart it. Okay, so we're going to restart it. Go ahead and delete that one for me, please. And I'll just start straight into it. Thank you. Welcome to Coffee with Kristel. Today I have this blue cup. Relax. Are you guys feeling relaxed? The morning, the show, hot. Are you all feeling relaxed as we start? This is day 8 of 2026. So deep breath as we embark into how time flies. But really the headline that I have here, Trump wants to ban large investors from buying homes. So that is a headline, but it's not a rule changer yet. Okay. So a headline is saying that institutional investors may be banned from buying homes. That does not actually mean anything has changed today. There is no new law. There is no new lending rule. There is no change to mortgage programs. What was shared is an intention. It's not an implementation. And the market actually reacts to the possibility. Housing reacts to policy, and policy takes time. If you're making decisions based on headlines, you're actually reacting. There's a lot going on as always in the headlines, but don't always be in the reacting. 2026, New Year resolution. I am not reacting. I breathe. I see all of this as a gift and open to the possibility of what can be there for me. So if you're making decisions based on strategies, then you're leading. So I want you to have that distinction. So who is this actually affecting and who it does not affect? This conversation is about large investors, large institutional investors, not everyday buyers. We are talking about corporations that are thousands of money, thousands of dollars. Sorry, I got distracted here, but thousands of dollars where they can buy single family homes. It doesn't affect you right now, first-time buyers, families that own their primary homes, or small investors, people buying one or few rentals. If you are an individual buyer or an investor, not noting nothing about your ability to purchase is changed. It's about scaling. I want you to be careful about those headlines. Keep having your strategies. If you're an investor, yes, in the long run, but nothing has changed yet. So don't go into a frenzy. But in the long term, who does this impact? What could happen? If something like this were ever passed, it could reduce the competition from large corporations into certain markets. But here's what it doesn't fix. It doesn't fix the housing supply. It doesn't fix the construction cost. It doesn't fix interest rates. Affordability is not solved by one policy idea. The buyers who do well right now they're not waiting for certainty. The buyers who are doing well right now, they have a plan and they are taking action. They're not being reactive. I see a lot of clients right now getting seller concession, which gives them opportunity to lower their cost up front or buy the interest rate down to where it makes sense. So I've shared a few short thoughts about this headline that Trump wants to ban large investors from buying homes. But let's go a little bit deeper. So this statement is not law, okay? It doesn't mean rules have changed. It doesn't mean guidelines have changed. It doesn't mean the market changed overnight. So something is about or could be implemented, but it's not there yet. Who this would apply to, like I've mentioned, those are large institutions like Blackstone, BlackRock, Polo Global Management. So those are corporations that are going to be impacted, but who knows what's going to really happen. Why the markets react anyway? Well, you may have noticed that stocks tied to large rental portfolios dropped after the announcement. That's because markets move on possibility, not on policy. Housing, on the other hand, moves on rules, and rules take time. Nothing changed with the market rates. Still about the same. Loan programs are still about the same. I'm actually seeing some pretty interesting mortgage programs and line of credits available for seniors where affordability for them makes it easier. I see more buyers qualifications and inventory levels. All those have actually not changed. So this is an early conversation, not a finished plan. As we know, the president that we have does create a lot of talks and conversations that we've heard last year about a 50-year mortgage. A lot of conversations take place, but not necessarily changes have actually taken place yet. We're still pretty much at about the same. So I want you as a first-time buyer to hear the headline, but also stay realistic about what's possible and creating based on credit, your assets, your savings, on your current debts, lowering your debts so your debt to income ratio is more in your favor. And take advantage of the fact that you can ask for the seller to pay for your closing costs, more of your closing costs, which can be applied towards your interest rates. I've actually heard builders, which is not beneficial to me, but as I give market updates, builders who are giving discounted interest rate because their margins are there where they can actually do that and their connections with the lender. So the opportunity for first-time buyers right now comes from credits, buy downs, community programs, and smart planning, not from waiting for a policy that change that could you think save you. You got to look at where you are right now. What can be done? What can I do to fix my current situation based on what I can control? Again, I cannot reinforce more. It's going to be your credit. It's going to be your income, your debt to income ratio, and your savings. Even if there are programs for first-time buyers, you want to also have the money available to go ahead and be able to negotiate better. Okay. Now, for our current homeowners, those who currently own a property and have earned so much equity and the timing that they're like, well, I'm stuck because I have this low interest rate. But don't feel stuck. Keep this property as your rental property and move into another property as your primary home. Get great terms and keep the cash flow that you are receiving from your current residence to help you with the current mortgage, the new one that you're going to be getting, or reinvest into more real estate. So your equity is strong. Don't sit on it. Don't just look at it and say, hey, I have great equity. See how you can leverage it in a smart way. Even when you get a line of credit, I don't do line of credits that are 100% financing of the value of your home. You still keep equity in your home, so you're not going to be quote unquote upside down. So this is not a rush or a freeze. This is still let's talk. Let's have a conversation about where you're heading, what you're looking to do. I'm not saying everybody needs to get back on the market, but for some people that are feeling stuck, it's because they want to do something different and they feel like they're not able to. You are the one that I want to talk to. Let me help you come with solutions and possibilities. For investors, especially the small, the mid-sized investors, by the way, I am definitely for over 25 years been focusing more on the residential side, but with Nexa, I've actually been able to entertain more the idea of being, and I'm looking at my other screen because I actually want to change my background. So for you investors, I am also working on the fix and flip options, the ability to offer you financing that is going to be more catered to your goals besides house hacking. But the true fix and flips, the actual DSCR programs that are going to be for more than just 4 units, which is the residential. So definitely want to talk to you investors because here at Nexa, we do have a lot of opportunities. Even if you're a new investor, yes, it's more limited, but you can still start. And once you have several under your belt, then you can move into better terms. So I want you to reflect on what you have available right now. How can you step into this market where inventory is slow, but also going outside the box of what people usually do? What can you do? Let's have a conversation. I love having those conversations of possibilities and thinking outside the box to help you achieve your goal for 2026. So the national medium home price is still elevated and rates are still hovering over the low to the mid 6% range. I have closed below 6%, but it depends on how you structure it. So this is all according to National Association of Realtors and the Mortgage News Daily. So look up the headlines, but also have conversations so we can go beyond the headlines. And one proposal doesn't actually solve affordability. Supply, construction, wages, and structure matter far more. So here's the real coffee talk takeaway today from this headline. Whether you are a first-time buyer, a homeowner, or an investor, the people who win in changing markets are the ones who plan based on what's really happening today and stay adaptable for tomorrow. So know where you are, know what you need to work on, and be ready to move forward. Have all of your chips ready to make your bet on yourself, on your future. If you're wondering how conversations like this actually apply to your situations, that's a conversation I'm always open to having with you. So wherever you're seeing this information, you'll find my link to book a call, but it's a Calendly link, Kristel Keith. Go ahead and book a call. Let's have a conversation. Let's chat about your situation. Now, we always have to talk about rates, of course, because rates do have an impact of what your mortgage payment is going to be. I don't want you to freeze in front of it. I don't want you to make decision and inform action. So let me say something that might surprise you. Rates are not the main reason people are stuck right now. It's always a mindset. It's always a fear. It's always a paradigm that's ready to be shifted. So rates do matter, but they're not the main decision maker most people think they are. Right now, rates, they pause. I mean, they're pretty good right now compared to what we've had. So they're not free falling and they're not spiking. And that pause is making people freeze because they're like, wait, do I need to wait even longer to get better interest rates? So no matter what happens with rates, people always get into a fear, and it's understandable. But I want you to release the fear, acknowledge it. I'm afraid of this, and I want to move beyond because, as always, 2026, beginning of a month, the beginning of a year, we always wanted to look into our goals, look into our possibilities of achieving them. And I want to be by your side, by your corner to help you with that. So, um, every time you hear rates have improved from the Fed, just remember this is short-term rates. This is not necessarily long-term rates. The mortgage rates is impacted by other factors, but you always want to be in conversation, stay connected to your lender, like myself, and let's work the numbers for you. And I also want you to go beyond what you know, if you are looking to buy a house, if you're looking to invest in real estate, I'm licensed in Georgia and Florida, so I'm going to say, in the Atlanta market, go a little bit outside of the perimeter, go a little bit outside of where the prices are hiked based on what you qualify. If that is your goal, you will find a way to actually own a home. It could be a house hacking, it could be, maybe multi-generational home purchase to help you on that goal. So rates are a factor, but they're not your strategy. Let's talk about strategy. Let's talk about the structure for you. I will share a little bit more about some of the forecast in my next chat. But before I do that, I want to go back into affordability. So affordability is not gone. It's the old way of buying that's gone. A lot of people ask me, well, Kristel, I just can't afford homes. And it's true. A lot of people are having a challenge in affording a property, but I want to stay gentle with this and honest. And it's always been an affordability issue at some point. I mean, when I bought my first house, my rate was 6.875 in 1999. And my income was, I think I was probably at 28,000 or 30,000. Yes, right after college, I still had an income that nowadays I don't think anybody can really purchase. I mean, you can't really purchase anything. And I know the prices were lower, but affordability was a challenge for me. I had to make sure I had no debt. I had to make sure I had down payment. So people will always experience some level of affordability issues. We just talk more about it, and there's more in the news about it because we have the YouTube. But I don't want you to stop there. I found a way to do it and to structure it. I want to help you find a way to structure, but you have to be open and not just say, well, I want my forever home when it's my first home. So your first home may actually be a home that is not necessarily check marking everything that's on your list. It could be one where it's the right location, but you're having to have some roommates to help you, or you have a family member that co-signs with you. Of course, you want to be smart about this. You don't want to just co-sign with someone just to go ahead and have it. Like I hear people say they're buying with their boyfriend and girlfriends. I'm not going to judge that. I just feel like that's a big commitment when it comes to buying real estate and the future equity and all that can comes when you're buying with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So just think about it. But let's have those conversations. Book a call with me and let's talk about your ability to structure so you can afford, so you can have seller credit, you can have payment structure, the right program for you. And this is especially true for first-time buyers who think that they want to wait until everything is lined up perfectly. Everything wasn't lined up perfectly when I bought my first home in my early 20s. I just had a leap of faith. Now, it's true, I had a mindset that was based on seeing family already owning real estate. So if you're new or your family hasn't owned real estate and you're the first one, have someone by your side like myself who can actually help you, guide you, and have compassion that this is scary, but the fear doesn't have to stop you. All right, so there's a lot of forecast, of course, that takes place when we are going into a new year. And how is the year going to look? I remember in 2022, it was about forecast. We're expecting May of 2023, rate's going to do this, then the next year's going to do that. Now we are already in 2026. A week has already unfolded. And everybody keeps on asking the same question: where is the market going? I have realtors asking me that question. Kristel, what do you think the market is going to do? And I think a better question is this: how do I stay flexible no matter where it goes? How do you stay flexible? How do you stay ahead of things or prepare for things? Because we can't control, we don't know what unexpected outcomes, unexpected actions are going to take place, like what happened earlier in what was it, the third, that there was something against another country. We don't know what that's going to bring in the future. So focus on what you can control, because we can forecast that the rates are going to remain in the 60s. That's going to bring some to some. It's like, great, I'm excited, I'm going to buy. But sometimes I hear clients stay on the fence and say, well, I'm not going to buy right now yet because maybe I am going to miss the boat. I'm buying too early. There is no way of knowing exactly. If you find the right home, and the right home is going to be dependent on several factors, it's the home that makes sense for your next move, mostly if you are renting, go ahead and do that. You can always potentially sell. You can always keep a home for as a rental. You can always have a roommate if, for instance, something happens and you have 3 rooms and you need extra income. Make a move that is calculated based on what you currently have. So buying today doesn't mean locking yourself into one outcome. It means planning exits, like I just mentioned, adjustments, and refinancing before you need to go ahead and take drastic action. Okay, so this is a little bit of a challenging first live because there's so much has happened in this 1 week. A lot of forecasts, a lot of conversations, a lot of chaos. So my intention when I do my live is to help you stay grounded into no matter what's happening around us, no matter what I share with you. I did this in a couple of weeks ago. You know, ground yourself. What does that mean? Go inside of you, meaning meditation, quiet the noise. Stop listening to my voice, to the YouTube and all that. Once you've ready to gather information from the logic and say, how does this translate into myself, into my heart, into me taking action? Who do I align with? Some keywords: ground yourself into yourself, your own compass. If you don't know how to do that yet, practice so you can have confidence and trust that is built around you taking actions that is honoring you, aligning with you. So I actually already started that talk that I just go off script, meaning no longer about mortgage rates and everything, more of who we are as humans. So if you wanted to just hear what I had to update on the market, this is the right time to actually drop off the call. And I appreciate you being on this live, listening whenever you are listening to it. And if you'd like to hear more, to the next section that I have created, which is allowing myself to just share from Kristel, not as a lender, but Kristel as the human being, the spiritual being, the mystical, whichever aspect that you want to look at it. So I want to invite you as I take one sip of coffee. And I'll ground myself. And I apologize, the light is not as bright as it could have been. I had to shut all my windows. Somebody was decided to cut the grass again today around, and it was too loud. So center yourself into your heart, which means basically breathing. Breath is the core of our aliveness. Without the breath, what happens? We die, right? So we need to go ahead and center yourself, bring yourself into I'm bringing myself into centeredness so I can share from what we in the energy, spiritual realm of the collective, what is being asked to answer. And I think right now what's really coming up for me is, and it's because we are at the beginning of the year where we have goals. I'm going to say I have those goals. I have those intentions. And one of my intentions for 2026 is allowing myself, as I've mentioned in other lives, but if you're new to this conversation, to share what comes up from my knowingness that is discerned from just my logic. And that has been a practice of doing energy work. When I say energy work, a lot of people are like, wait, what do you mean? Mostly if I'm from the islands, what does that mean, energy work? And it's everything is energy. Everything is energy. The way we speak, the way we show up, the way I show up, the tonality, all of that has an energy. Easier said is you may feel something from my share. It's like, this is not for me, or this is totally for me. So there is a reaction, there is a response to it, a reaction or response, a little bit of a nuance there, but there's still something that takes place. That is an energy exchange. My intention is to create one that is infinite, that is from the divine, that is from infinite intelligence, choosing the word that resonates best for you when it comes to that aspect, the God-given guidance, the discernment, the compass within. And that is actually the message that comes up right now for me. No matter all the lives recordings, all the shares, all of the teachings, we always want to find out, how does this resonate with me? Does this align with me? But then you may ask, Kristel, how do I know if something aligns with me? Well, how do you feel about it? Did you feel expanded with it? Did it create anger? Did it create frustration? So when it creates frustration, anger, resentment, it may be a reflection of something that's already in us that is amplified. And you have an opportunity to, looking for the words, to heal that, to not analyze it, but see, reflect, introspection. Those are the actual words. Introspection of, what is that showing me? What is this feeling showing me? And you want to go from your head. I mean, the images and ideas will come as to why this is repeated from the past. Let me actually remove the blur. You want to go ahead and have allow yourself to see what images, what reflections, what introspection comes through. This is why a lot of times they say journaling, right? Having your notes, allowing yourself to put down on paper everything that comes up. And meditation for some people can be intimidating, because meditation may seem like, well, I don't know how to quiet my mind. Well, you don't necessarily have to quiet your mind. You just sit in silence. I can actually sit with the guy who cuts the grass and not have that to be bothersome, because now it's no longer triggering me. I would like it to be quieter. But as you go through your own meditation, your own awareness of what's coming through, and asking yourself, the higher intelligence, God, to help you, to guide you in healing that aspect. So there are headlines. That's what I talked about. There were headlines today. There were headlines there were headlines yesterday. There are headlines tomorrow. And there's constantly headlines. And we are so glued to them. I'm one of them. I will, because I got to know what's going on, what you are experiencing. I don't have to. I'm choosing to actually go out there and listen to what's happening, what's being said, so I can be in a conversation with others without necessarily being triggered and swallowed by this conversation. Because my intention, my goal, my awareness is, how can I bring peace? How can I be a catalyst to vacuuming out, not me, but the energy to vacuum out what is no longer serving in this conversation. So yesterday was my mother's birthday. Nobody knows about it. She doesn't want people to know. I think it's on her Facebook. But in my exchange with my brother and I and her just sitting, then things come up. So as we sit there, we can keep on having those conversations and exchange, and we can also set the intention, vacuum out what is no longer serving this exchange. Because sometimes we stay in the loop of things and just keep back and forth. And it was one thing I was sharing with her, and I was like, she's not hearing what I'm saying. And at some point, gotta ask, come guide me in having the words so she can hear it, or for me to just be quiet because right now it is just not resonating. So I'm saying like energy is everything. So even in this birthday celebration or exchange or conversation, like right now, energy, which is everything, the way we speak, the intention, makes a difference. If this word doesn't make sense for you or doesn't resonate, I would say keep on tight, of course, coming into my life as I keep sharing, because and then also follow one of my instructor, uh, Connie Keene, um, quantum energy infusion, because there are different layers of what that looks like for each person based on where they are. Some people totally get it. You might be someone's like, why she keeps talking about energy? And it's kind of an invisible force, but it's a powerful force. For me, how I experience energy intentionally as an energy practitioner is I feel things going through inside my body. Some people actually hear things. Some people have a reaction to their body. You may smell something. So I just want you to be aware more of your senses beyond just the basic ones and start tuning into those. Why? Because we are moving and we are in very interesting times, as you all know. And just listening to the headlines would just swallow you and not want you to be not be swallowed, but be a vacuum to removing what is no longer serving. And by removing what is no longer serving, you don't want to leave that empty space with nothing. You want to set an intention. I definitely will ask you to set the intention of love, the intention of the heart, the intention of the Christ consciousness, the intention of what aligns with you to bring harmony, peace, um, love, and love without condition. We have been conditioned to love with conditions. Explore what is love without condition. What is love? Even if it's one book that gives you affirmation for love, it will open your brain, your mind, and different layers of your energy system of your body. So it will start with here, and then it will go in the etherical, then it will go into different layers where things come to you where it's love alignment. This share is truly about taking a different stance with all information that's given to us through the social media, through the news, through our parents. Um, I'm hearing a lot lately. Even I was at the beach and there was a guy cleaning a conch, Lumby, a conch with his son. And there is also the hierarchy where it's like, you guys, new generation, you want us to hear you, but you don't want to listen. There is the battle of the old ways of parents are respect and obedience. I definitely agree with respect, but I don't necessarily say obedience, because as we grow, there is a new way of seeing, and there is a great way of appreciating what's given to us, what was given to me from my family lineage, and as also who I am as a being of light, a being who comes to harmony, peace, and love, where it may actually break away or cut away or say no longer with the obedience of the way family. So, and this even comes up in my Rotary Club, where we have older members, wiser members, and younger who share how it is a dynamic with family when we're talking about the phone. And some people are on their phone in certain ways and everything. It is a great tool to have, and we just get to learn how to use it where it works and bridge between just generations without saying, I'm the older generation. I get to tell you how it goes. To I'm the older generation. I get to be wise and open to listening to what's possible. AI coming, well, a lot of people are afraid. I'm not saying don't have your concerns, and your discernment is key. That's why I say we have our own compass. But how do you know what's best for you? Sometimes it's the lesson. Sometimes you need to go through the hardship. I've had to do that because that choice that I made, and I had to go through the hardship. And it got me to see the paradigm, the patterns for myself. And through those patterns, realizing I have a pattern of overgiving and being depleted. And from that, I get to create healthy, some will call boundaries, but really ways for me to respect my own space, my own energy. And all of this is what we're here to do on this earth. It's actually to come through this, the family, the work, the career, the money, all of those are so we can come to one place. Sacred home, your home, which is why I call my website Sacred Home with Kristel, because I've had the journey of dismantling so much of my life, shifting alone time with sacred places, in sacred places with special energies. And that's my invitation to you for 2026. I still do mortgages. I'm here to help you get the home because it's a home over your head, your roof, your family, create that stability for you, discernment of which kind of programs work for you. I may not have the perfect program for you because a bank may have something that's specifically best for you. You can still send it to me. I can compare and tell you, you're getting an amazing deal. Or I can tell you yes, and be careful, read the fine prints. There are some programs where you are going to be having a second lien that you always have to pay. I just want you to know the truth. I just want you to see what's truly that you're signing. A lot of people end up signing documents without really reading them. Read your documents. And connect with experts who are not just experts because they have a high volume that they do or they're the number one, but connect because you feel aligned. A lot is changing of authority, what that looks like, and who, based on what's the definition of success is. Success for me is how authentic you are or you are becoming, and it's being revealed to you. That's been my success. This being that journey of who Kristel is. How do I show up? How true am I being to myself? And there'll be some slaps, left, right, and going through it. But I want you to go through it. And I'm on this journey with you. And I'm going to step more and more into that journey with you as I keep on allowing myself to step out of my comfort of being a lender for so many years and really speaking and coming from this energy, this given opportunity that I am myself in the unknown. This is why I do it live versus pre-recorded, because it's allowing me to come and share, even though it's not perfect, because it's not about perfection. It's about intention. And my intention is to be a beacon of love, of heart, of sacredness, of respect for each other and humanity, of peace. There's way too much. Actually, I'm not going to say there's way too much. There is the right amount of chaos right now for us to look within. All the chaos that's actually triggering, if it's like, oh my gosh, the world is coming to an end. Well, where in my life is my world coming to an end that I get to be responsible for my actions and not just say it's because the world is coming to an end, I'm coming to an end. It's actually a mirror. Remember, we are experiencing mirrors. And if you're seeing this message, there might be a mirror. If you put in a comment, there is potentially a mirror, an opportunity. All of those. I want you to take all of it and say, all of this is for me. Even the good, bad, and indifferent. All of it is for us. And from that aspect, introspection. Somebody said to me, why do you do so much introspection? Well, I guess that's because that's my comfort zone, is to really introspect, even though that's not comfortable, because looking in the mirror is not always easy. But I know by shifting my craft, peeling off the onion, and allowing myself to be vulnerable, like right now, because I'm like, Kristel, what are people going to say? And then the other voice says, you are guided to share what you're sharing right now. So I invite you, even if it's not a share on a live, it could be a drawing, it could be an art that you've created and that you've never wanted to share before. We need to start stepping into the courage of the unknown. Interestingly enough, on the other side of my screen, there is kind of reminds me of the red rocks of Sedona, where it's that huge mountain with red, rocky, and ancient time. And being in sacred old places activate what we knew, at least for me, as a child, what we would love to do. But then the programming of our parents, we love them, but just awareness, programming of the parents, of school, environment, got us to say, you know what, this is not good enough. I used to hear friends say to their kids, well, you need to find a job that is going to pay you because we want safety, we want security. Of course, I want that for everyone. I want that for myself. But there's more safety and certainty in becoming who we truly meant. Otherwise, and this is mixed with the facts that I've experienced loss of a young adult, as well as a neighbor or older one. What was the meaning of the life? Now, I'm not asking you to be morbid and what's the meaning of your life, but what is the meaning of 2026 for you? Despite all the headlines, who would you like to be in 2026? Me? To inspire you. To inspire you not from an ego's place, but to inspire you to become you. The courage to jump off that, this skydiving. I was thinking jumping off that big rock, but it's really that leap of faith, right? So I am still on this journey with you of doing residential loans as well as commercial as I keep on learning and partnering up with my partners here at my company. But I'm more than that. I am the person that when we're in conversation, I want to bring peace and harmony and for you to hear what's most important to you to grow. My realtor partners, I want to support you in your goals. Collaborations. I don't want to be in competition. I want to be in collaboration. If you are a collaborator, we'll love to hear from you. I used to do a lot of inviting people to come and do I'm sorry, a conversation with Kristel, like I'm doing talk, this is just me. But I want to start that again because I want to invite people, let's collaborate. Let's align. I mentioned at the beginning, energy, breath, all of those are the center of our aliveness. So before I close out, I invite you to take a deep breath and letting go of anything that is not serving and anything that resonated, even if it's one thing. If it's nothing, it's okay. But one thing that resonated with you that you take for today, take for the rest of the week, or maybe you've discerned for yourself by the end of 2026, I am a catalyst. I am my art. I am top producer. That's your desire. I am. So remember the beat after the I am. It's an opportunity to create who you would like to see yourself as. And if you don't know who that is, who you would like to see yourself as, who do you admire the most? Why? What is it about that? Because that's probably a reflection, again, that mirror as to how you would like to be. And you probably already that. It's just as I said, we may need to peel off the onion. I've never done this before, and I will today. If you are interested in knowing more about energy work, there are different teachers for that. Now, I can share with you Quantum Energy Infusion, which I'm still part of their mastermind. I'm actually a certified energy practitioner with Connie Keene, and we are working on a few projects. One of them is with kids, QEI kids, and then another one is to be more on the global spectrum. with my language skills, that's something we're going to do. But right now in America, it is definitely in English. It's available and you can sign up for a class. If you are interested in knowing more, because it's not about just conversation, actually you experiencing energy, you experiencing letting go, we can definitely do that. I'm also feel inspired to share another aspect of what I do, which is to be, I am a support coach for Tiffany Rose Coaching. So if you are a lender and you would like to learn how to use video marketing to grow your business, Facebook ads and all of those, we have our coaching calls on Thursday. So I will probably take a small excerpt from that and share it in the on my feed. So I am involved in different aspects. Of course, I'm also a Rotarian. Kind of feel like I'm reintroducing myself. I'm also a Rotarian. So if you like to learn how to be of service and service above self, I am actually working towards, not working, I am president-elect for my club. So I will be sharing more from that role. And yeah, those are all the different, some of the facets that I have, as I am a multi dimensional being who is exploring constantly, because I love to explore. That's why I travel places, but also myself. So I think this is truly an invitation to stay tuned as I keep sharing from this aspect of me. And I will close with, take your hand and place it on your heart. Now, there's a physical heart and there's the heart, which is going to be more of your chest area. Okay. So you can just take one or both and be here. Allow yourself to go from your head down here. And from that place, I appreciate you. I thank you. I'm sorry if this conversation may have made you uncomfortable, or what the heck is Kristel talking about. And I thank you for listening. I love you. And thank you. I believe the live is stopped, right? Oh yeah, I
Can
can't
you
hear
hear
you.
me? Hello?
I just realized that we did not record. It did not get recorded. I didn't record it on Zoom. Okay, so you can extract it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I feel like I talk too much. Lord,
Can you hear me now, Kristel?
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
What if you take off your headphone?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering if it's a headphone though.